Hi guys, so my good friend Andre Walker uploaded this video recently. Andre Walker, of course, is a Brexiteer, and he's going to attack the EU here. Now, in this video, he's going to highlight an EU member state, Italy in particular, and a part of Italy which he claims is fighting against the EU, rebelling against the EU. So let's hear what he had to say.
Well. The European Union, as we know, failed over the vaccine.
The EU failed over the vaccine. What do you mean by failed? What is the criteria for failed? Because did they deliver a vaccine? Yes. Are they delivering enough vaccines? Well, maybe. In some areas, yes. Some areas, no. Is that a failure? Well, we can argue over whether it's a failure or not. I think a failure would be no vaccines or vaccines that don't work. That would be a failure. But that's not where we're at.
In the United Kingdom, around 20% of people are vaccinated, whereas in the Republic of Ireland, as members of the European Union, it is just 3%.
Okay, so this is this is some data that you hear from Brexiteers from time to time. So this is from the Johns Hopkins University of Medicine. What Andre is using data that's not exactly accurate. Now, what I mean by that is he's looking at the number of vaccines given using the first dose and not fully vaccinated. What I mean by that is some vaccines require 2 doses. If you focus just on the first dose, which the UK government is rolling out rapidly, the first dose, they're not rolling out as rapidly the second dose, means that some people are not fully vaccinated. Now, for me, I think this is not a game, a race for someone to win and for someone to lose. Because if anyone loses, we all lose. This has to be rolled out as much as possible all over the world. There are no winners here. Anyway, so he talked about 20% and 3%. So what is he talking about? Well, as I said, he's talking about the first administered dose, not fully vaccinated. Because if we look at how many people have been vaccinated per country, the numbers are a little bit different. Gibraltar, 33.52%. Israel, Seychelles, Isle of Man, Cayman Islands. This is in order, as you can see. United States, Malta, Denmark, which is a member of the European Union, Iceland, Romania, Serbia, United Arab Emirates, Bermuda, Spain, Slovenia, Poland, Lithuania, Italy, Portugal, Ireland here is at 2.02% of people within the country vaccinated, followed by Belgium, Austria, Germany, Greece, Czech Republic, Estonia, Sweden, European Union as a whole 1.64%, Slovakia, Norway, Hungary, France, Croatia, Finland, Cyprus, Switzerland, Russia, Luxembourg, Turkey, Latvia, and the United Kingdom here. The United Kingdom is at 0.86% fully vaccinated. Now, I think comparing the United Kingdom to Ireland doesn't really help. It'd make more sense to compare the United Kingdom to Germany, for example. They have pretty similar populations. And Germany has 1.97% compared to the UK's 0.86%. Now, I'm not the one presenting some sort of game here, some sort of race. As I said before, we need to vaccinate everyone on this planet, because if somebody isn't vaccinated, it's going to create problems for all of us later on. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
But what a surprise now that people have begun fighting back. There is a governor of an Italian area who has said that he will now order 27 million vaccines in contravention to European Union rules that force every country in the bloc to order together.
That's not exactly true. What the European Union had asked member states is to avoid, it wasn't forced, but they were asked to avoid purchasing vaccines as individual countries. Because the European Union, if it ordered the vaccines together, would be able to get a better price for those vaccines. Now, we can argue whether that was a good choice or not, but it was not, as far as I know, there was no requirement on countries not to order vaccines. They were suggested not to.
Effectively, what he has said is that at first there was an EU block on member states buying their own vaccines, but it appears the floodgates are beginning to open. And this is Luca Zia, who is the governor of apparently a northern Italian territory called Veneto. Well, I think that this was effectively inevitable, because what has happened now is people right across the European Union have begun saying to their political leaders that it is not good enough for them to exchange freedom and democracy, for them to exchange quality healthcare for their leaders getting nice trips to Brussels and planes with golden parachutes.
Sorry, I didn't understand the last part about golden parachutes. Anyway, so what is he talking here about? Well, he's talking about Veneto region, and I live in the Veneto region. The capital city of the Veneto region is Venice. I live not that far from Venice. He's talking here about Luca Zaia. Luca Zaia is the president of the Veneto region. The certain powers from central government have been devolved to different regions, and you can see here that Luca Zaia is the president. We have the vice president, minister for budget and local government, and I've highlighted here the minister for health and social programs. Healthcare is a devolved power to the regions. Now, what's interesting also is that Luca Zaia is a member of the Lega Veneta party, and you can see on the screen, hopefully, his party pretty much controlled the entire regional government. Now, the Lega Veneta party is an Eurosceptic party. They're not very happy with the European Union in general. This is seen as a bit of a spite or a snipe at the European Union. But his biggest problem is not the European Union, it's central government. Luca Zaia is part of a bigger party that wants to create not just a Brexit of the European Union. They don't want to create a situation where Italy leaves the European Union. They want to create a new country within Italy, and they want that country not just to leave the European Union, but to leave Italy as well. They have toned down their rhetoric in the last number of years, but that was their original goal in the past. Now, let's get back to the vaccine. So Luca Zaia has said recently, yes, we're going to try and purchase the vaccine ourselves. I've said this before, this is not a battle between Luca Zaia or Veneto and the European Union. This is a battle between Luca Zaia and the Veneto region and the central government, because the vaccines are purchased and collected and stored or whatever by the central government, and then they're distributed to the different regions. And the different regions are fighting over these vaccines, because while Luca Zaia is in control of the government in the Veneto region, and he's extremely popular at the moment, there is a risk for him that if these vaccines are not delivered in the correct way, or there aren't enough of them delivered, he will take a political hit for it. So in a traditional political sense, he's blaming someone else. He's either blaming the European Union or he's blaming the central government. And he has threatened to purchase vaccines directly. I don't know if it's possible for him to do that. Perhaps it is, because healthcare is a devolved power. But in general, the purchase of vaccines is something carried out by the central government in Rome, not by the devolved government in each of the regions. But what Andre is talking about, golden parachutes and trips to Brussels, I don't know how that's related to this topic anyway. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?